The government wants more protection for renters, and that's fair enough. But here is the truth no one is telling you. There are new rules coming that could crush landlords who own rental properties in the UK. If you are not prepared, the damage will be worse than you can ever imagine. If you clicked on this video, it's probably because you've been hearing about this big change in the rental market, but you're not exactly sure how it will impact you as a landlord. Will it affect your current rentals? Will it change your returns? And can you still rely on the current long-term letting system? In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what the Renters' Rights Bill is, how it works, and how it can impact people like you. By the end, you'll be in a much stronger position to decide your next move with all the facts, not just the headlines. If you don't know me already, my name is Josh, founder of the Casalyst, and over the last 5 years, I have mastered the art of turning luxury properties into high-yield investments. I started out as a landlord myself with one property, and over the last few years, I have built a portfolio and a system that is consistently outperforming traditional rentals by over 150%. Today, we manage some of London's most luxurious short-term rentals, and we manage everything so landlords can earn more without even having to lift a finger. So here is why you should listen to me. I have built a future-proof system. So no matter what regulations or changes come into play, our landlords are always protected, stay in control, and are maximizing their income. I explain all in the video, so stay tuned. So let's get into it. What is the Renters' Rights Bill? Well, it is part of the government's plan to give tenants more security and protection. The three main goals for the Renters' Rights Bill is to make renting fairer, to reduce evictions, and to prevent sudden rent increases. This is fantastic for tenants, but for landlords, it's going to have some impacts. The main changes for landlords will be rent increases will be capped. So you'll only be allowed to increase your rent once per year. Eviction rules are stricter, so you will need a legal reason to regain possession of your property, such as you're selling the home. Obviously, that makes things very difficult when tenants aren't paying rent, etc. And tenancies will now become periodic. So fixed term tenants will be replaced with rolling contracts. I don't know if you understand what this means. Someone can sign a 1-year lease and after 1 month say, actually, I don't like it here anymore, and they're leaving. It gives you no control of your property. It's crazy. Honestly, when I heard this, I was blown away. For landlords, of course, this is going to create some real challenges. Imagine you rent out a luxury home and later decide to sell, renovate, or move back in. Under the new rules, you can't just take it back. You will need legal proof to provide months of notice as well, and even then, the tenant can still contest it. So landlords are going to face long delays. It's going to be huge problems, potential legal battles, restrictions on how they manage their properties. So if you are a landlord and obviously you're relying on rental income, this could completely limit your flexibility and heavily impact your returns. So let's dive into the current rental market. Most landlords follow one of two paths. Some will try to find their own long-term tenants. So they handle everything, the advertising, the viewings, tenant management, etc., which is obviously stressful, time-consuming, and inefficient. And then you have other landlords who would hand over their properties to traditional letting agents. They sign long-term contracts, pay the letting agent's fees, and they rely on the agent or the managing agent to take care of the tenants during their tenancy. The agent handles all the work, but usually the landlord will sacrifice control and also will settle for lower rental yields. Both systems have major flaws, so let's deep dive into this. Landlords who are finding their own long-term tenants face the risk of inconsistent income, legal mistakes, and stress. Also, for a landlord who's trying to find their own tenants to do guest vetting and everything is a lot more difficult than through a traditional letting agent who have all of the kind of systems and software in place to do all the AML checks to make sure they're not having bad tenants in the properties. Then you have traditional lettings agents who lock landlords into inflexible tenancies. They create income gaps and leave landlords vulnerable to new rules like the Renters' Rights Bill. Under the Renters' Rights Bill, these issues are amplified. So what is the solution? Hybrid or short-term lets. What is a short-term let? It is a rental agreement that lasts a few weeks or a few months instead of a full year. These can usually be booked on short-term rental platforms like an Airbnb or with a professional management company like mine, the Casalyst. Now, let's deep dive into why short-term lets work so well. Some of the main benefits are flexibility. You maintain full access of your property whenever you need it. For example, A lot of our landlords will live in their property but travel 6 months of the year. Maybe they live in Dubai, between London or wherever in the world, and they like to use their property for part of the year and also rent it out. So we give landlords the ultimate flexibility to do whatever they want with their asset. Secondly, higher rental yields. By doing short-term rentals, you are able to charge premium rates. You can charge high nightly rates, and you're probably going to achieve at least double the amount of rental income compared to if you rent out your property long-term. And you're also not going to be limited by any of the rent caps that are going to be coming into place. Thirdly, you have compliance. Same with long-term rentals. With short-term rentals, you have a professional system that ensures your property meets all legal and safety requirements. And next up, guest quality. Instead of having to go and find the tenants yourself and do all the vetting, if your property is managed by a professional management company, they will do all the screening for you. You can literally handpick the type of tenants you want in your home. And lastly, with short-term rentals, you can list on multiple platforms. There are so many platforms out there that you can advertise on, which is obviously going to give you the best chance in finding the highest paying tenants. I've actually built a company that handles all of this for you. It's called the Casalyst, but we take things one step further. We have built a service that completely flips the traditional rental model on its head. We deliver so much for our landlords, and overall, we have built a high performance luxury rental service designed exclusively for our premium homeowners. Our mission is simple: to unlock true homeowner freedom and allow your property to work for you, even when you are not there. I have built this system over years of managing luxury properties, and our landlords are consistently maximizing their rental yields and staying in full control of their property. But instead of me telling you, how about I show you? Let's take David, one of our landlords in Kensington. If you can see this beautiful property, currently earning around £25,000 per month with us from his Kensington townhouse. Previously, this home was being rented out as a long-term let for around £10,000 per month. So that's over double the rental yield that he's generating. He was initially skeptical and had a lot of questions about how short-term rentals work. But now to say he is satisfied is an understatement. In his words, he said, "It truly feels like having a dedicated private team on call, protecting both the value of my home and my time." This is a perfect example of how the hybrid lettings approach works. We have given David the ultimate flexibility to use his home whenever he wants, giving him true flexibility and power and control over his home, and allowing him to maximize his rental yields without him having to even lift a finger. Next up, we have Sarah, who has a beautiful 3-bedroom apartment in Belgravia, which is a super exclusive area in London. We now generate her an additional £10,000 per month for her property when she's not using it. Now, Sarah, she travels frequently. She's a busy businesswoman. She's always flying, traveling all over the world. And instead of letting her property sit there vacant, what we do is we work with her around her schedule and rent out her property to our guests when it's not being used, allowing her to maximize her asset to the fullest. Now, Sarah's first queries were, what happens to my personal belongings? What we do is we lock up all of her personal belongings, keep them safe and stored within her home, and we keep some cupboard space empty for our guests to use. On top of that, we've built a custom calendar for Sarah. So she just lets us know what date she's going to be there and what dates the apartment is empty, and we can work around her schedule. As I mentioned, we're making Sarah an additional £10,000 per month. Who is doing that for you? Yeah, Sarah could stick her property on Airbnb and try and find guests herself. Who's managing that? Sarah's traveling around the world. She's a busy businesswoman. She's flying to Dubai, to New York, to LA. She doesn't have the time to deal with guest issues, do advertising, find guests, do the vetting, all of this stuff. That's where we come in. That's why we provide such a high quality service. Anyway, this is just 2 case studies. I mean, we're generating over 7 figures a year for our landlords. So if you want to hear more about the business, more case studies, don't be shy. Give me a message and I can tell you some more. Anyway, now let's get on with the video. So far, what have we covered? We have covered what is the Renters' Rights Bill, how traditional long-term lets work, why short-term renting is so beneficial, and how the Casalyst works and what we do for our landlords. Now, let's be honest. I know what you're thinking. Could I just do this myself? You could, but here's the truth. If you try go alone, you will see how complex this system really is. There are legal risks, low occupancy rates, missed income, It causes a lot of stress. This business is super operationally heavy and can take up a lot of your time. Short-term lets are extremely powerful if done correctly. You require the correct expertise, system, and constant attention. Doing it yourself will often cause you to leave money on the table. It's sacrificing your flexibility, exposing you to legal and operational risk. But at the Casalyst, we have built a system that handles everything. The best thing is, you keep control of your home, you use your home when you want, and you earn top tier rental income without any headaches. To conclude, we've gone over what the Renters' Rights Bill is and exactly how you can mitigate against it. With that being said, if you found this video useful, let me know in the comments down below. Save this video for later, and if you have any questions at all, I'm here to help. The Casalyst is here to revolutionize home ownership. There are some big changes coming, and we are here to ignite true homeowner freedom and maximize your rental yields. I'll see you guys on the next one.